Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to say, Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahuwah, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Yahuwah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a grave millstone. Peace and blessings to the whole Follett. It's a younger brother here, and it's gonna be a quick one, because I am cutting it a little bit close. I gotta go to work pretty soon, but this is CNN.com, an article that I was reading. Public anger mounts in locked down Shanghai with no end in sight. Here's what you need to know. So yeah, this is the article. Millions of people across Moab lands, locked down financial hub of Shanghai, have been desperately seeking medical care and basic supplies like food, which I'm gonna say Moab land, but Moab is China, right? Not like, okay, hold on. No, we're good. But yeah, Moab is China, but the so-called Chinese, they're the Moabites, okay? Not that Moab is China, alright? But the Moabites are the so-called Chinese people today. The Chinese people today, their biblical nationality are the Moabites. That is what they are, you know. Parents have been forcibly separated from young children infested with the windows, and public anger is mounting with no end in sight as Moab clamps down. Alright, so I'm gonna say Windows 1.9, but we know what I'm talking about. Since March, Moab has battled its biggest Windows wave yet, with Shanghai now the largest hotspot at 25 million residents. All 25 million residents are under lockdown, with national healthcare workers in the Moab military dispatched to boost the city's response. On Wednesday, the country recorded close to 20,000 new cases, far past the peak of Hanwu in 2020 at the onset of this whole thing. Those numbers still far lower than in many other countries. It's a dramatic spike for Moab, which has adhered to a strict zero window strategy that aims to stamp out all outbreaks and change its mission using border controls, mass testing, quarantines and stringent lockdowns. So really, what these elites want, they want that for here in the States. You look at other articles, they make it seem like, oh, this is a big challenge for Xi Jinping's rulership or his leadership. They really want to do this here in the States, which, I mean, we gotta wait and see how things go out. But we're gonna get into scriptures in a minute. The sustainability of that policy is now under question as newer, highly infectious variations continue to spread throughout the population. Because elites, they're watching this thing. They really want this to come to the States. They really want to have this kind of system. So we got to see how this plays into Jacob's trouble. How these devils, move in with this thing. This is Book of Acts, the 26th, verse 41. This is Yahushua Gethsemane, right? That's the context. Verse 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak, right? So watch and pray. That's really the point. Once again, I said this is Yahushua Gethsemane, and he's speaking unto the, unto the disciples. That's Yahushua speaking to the disciples because this is in the red letter. But we also use this to apply to us to this truth, man. We gotta watch and we gotta pray, that you don't enter and be of like mind as these people, because if you enter into like mind of these people, then you're doing an act of disobedience. Obedience is compliance with an order. Disobedience is not being in compliance with an order. The order is to serve the Lord, Yahweh, worship Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Yahweh, Yahushai. The order is to be brotherly. The order is, if it's in your spirit, come out on the highways and byways. The order is, you got to study. You got to know what your nationality is, who you are, right, so on and so forth. If you don't do those things, right, then you're being a child of disobedience. As we know, the scriptures say, upon the children of disobedience comes the wrath of the Most High Yahweh, which is going to come through chariots, laser beams, Jacob's trouble, you name it. You get jacked up. So it's either you listen or you don't. But if you don't, you're not going to like how it's going to end. 2nd Esdras chapter 9 verse 1, he answered me then and said, much at a time diligently in itself. When I see part of the signs pass that I've told you before, then you shall understand it's the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Now, I've heard a brother's breakdown of Second Esdras is basically um, the prophet Esdras getting a breakdown, and he was getting various visions from the angel Uriel. When you go into it, I've heard a brother go into it, but you can look into that for yourself. But when you go into this, right, measure that time diligently, right. To measure something means to take account of, right. So say I have let's say an example. Say I know the grocery store, right, and I like this certain kind of soap, right? It's called black soap, right? Which you guys probably know what that is. I actually kind of like it. Say there's a certain shop that sells it, shop for so-called black people or whatever, and that shop closes in an hour, right? Am I moving, right? I'm gonna make sure, and I know, okay, it takes me 30 minutes to get there. Let me finish up doing whatever I gotta finish. I gotta do my hair. I have to do this. Say it's in the morning, right? I have to do my hair. I have to take a shower. I have to put on my clothes. You're gonna move in a way according to that time. It's the same way with the end. We know, according to the scriptures, what the end is. We know that there's going to be nuclear missiles. World War III is going to be death and destruction, which is the second death. We don't want to be caught up in that. So we're going to move in a way that we're supposed to. And the way we measure how close we are up to that time, how close we are up to before World War III, Jacob's trouble, right? Because World War III is the ultimate destruction, right? Therefore, Jacob's trouble has to be before them, which we know Jacob's trouble is martial law, right? So we're measuring the time by using the prophecies we're taking account of, and we're changing our behavior so that we don't have to be caught up in those times. We're trying to, to the best of our ability, keep the commandments, and act, in the way that we're supposed to, be brotherly, so on and so forth. Stay fervent, do these videos, not be having too much fun. Elder Apostle Gabar has a video on that. Too much fun is a problem. So that's pretty much it. When I see part of the signs past that I teach you, measure that time diligently in itself, which I said already. When I see parts of the sign past that I told you before, then shall thou understand so at the same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, which you know that is going to be synonymous with destruction. And Yahushua returning, nuclear missiles, chariots, all that. You don't want to be caught up in that. Trust me. So you got to change your behavior so that you don't get caught up in there. Because if you get caught up in there, you're going to die. All right? And that's not going to be fun. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 14, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahushua Mashiach shall give thee light. Alright, so awake thou that sleepeth, and rise from the dead, right? Which means to leave from a spiritually dead state that we were once in when we walked in the course of this world. Right? Which that one goes back to, which I wrote that breakdown myself, right? That goes back to Ephesians 2:2. I'm not going to get that. And the light here, in Yahushua Mashiach should give thee light, means it gives you the understanding. And you're going to be able to understand, and the understanding through the Holy Spirit is going to make you spiritually alive, which then goes back to Ezekiel 47 and other precepts. Alright? Verse 15, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Alright, so we got to watch and see, right, to get back to the point of this lesson, right, kind of go in the spirit here. You got to watch and see how this whole thing in Moab is going to play out, If it turns into another lockdown here in the States, it's going to be devastating. You already have a lot of these college students, but they're fucking stupid for going to college, right? Because college don't teach you shit, right? But once again, these are people that they're in a spiritually dead state, man. They don't understand, They're just trying to, like, they don't understand that martial law is coming. They don't understand that this is not the time to be fucking focusing on the degree, Alright, because in martial law, that shit ain't gonna matter, man. You know, um, that shit ain't really gonna matter like that, man. But my point is, um, you got that this whole student loan forgiveness. These guys can't pay their loans back because the cost of living is so high. You know, all this inflation. They got these soaring gas prices. It's just like these kids. They can I call them kids because they're not children. They're kids. They're goats. Okay, they can't afford to pay it back. So now it's just gonna be paused and paused and paused. All right, so hey man, that's why you gotta walk circumspectly. You can't follow these people and follow their ways, cause once again, our people that are in this dead state following, you know, the American way, American culture, whatever it is. You know, whether you got Jakes in Europe and they're following uh, whatever way of life they're doing down there, following their holidays, that Christianity shit down there, um, they're gonna die. All right, they're fucked. Verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Alright, and the days are evil. You know, evil like basically goes into bad times. You know, we are moving towards bad times. You know, we got Jacob's trouble that's on the way. Yeah, this isn't the time to play games. Slovakia here. You can't fucking win. I tell you, you can't win here. You know, fucking hate this place. Fucking apartment. Psalm chapter 94 verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? Alright, so no. Alright, the throne of iniquity is referring to Esau, right? Are they gonna have fellowship with you? And they do frame mischief by law, you know, which they got, you know, they already got it set up, you know, with all these mandates, right? Which another word for law, when you look at that word law, it's synonymous with prescribed task, statute, ordinance. It's essentially a decree, right? A decree essentially is synonymous with a mandate. So, however they come back again with this thing, as I said, it's going to be devastating. You know, there's going to be even more people are going to lose their businesses. It's going to be bad if they move again to another one. You know, which we don't care. All right. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 24 and 10, right? So don't follow them. That's the point of Psalm 94 and 20. Do not follow these devil's ways. All right. Isaiah chapter 24 verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. All right. The city of confusion refers to America, right? Oh, hold on. Let me finish this up first. Got someone calling me. That no man may come in is referring to the quarantines, right? The quarantines lead to America being broken down because businesses have been closing down or were closing down due to the pandemic. You know, because we know we're not really in a lockdown situation right now. It kind of chilled back on it for now, but you know, as I said, you gotta watch and pray and see how these things play out, and we gotta walk circumspectly because we don't know how these things are gonna play out. Whether it becomes a big thing, and we do move into another lockdown, which is gonna be bad. There's probably gonna be a lot of public unrest, you know, so on and so forth. So I gotta get out of here. Lord willing, you're edified. To this time I say shalom.